ECDL Advanced Access Lesson 39 Calculated Fields on Forms. So this is the start of Section 6, in which we're going to be discussing form controls. Within this section, we will cover calculated fields on forms, command buttons, combo boxes, list boxes and check boxes, option groups, and adding data fields to headers and footers. Okay, so let's get started with calculated fields on forms. There are different types of form controls: bound, which gets its data from a source/field; unbound, in which it's not linked to a data source; and calculated. A calculated field uses a mathematical expression to obtain its information. These fields are calculated using other information from the database and are calculated each time they are required. The calculation is entered into a text box. The expression may include any of the usual mathematical symbols: plus for add, minus for subtract, star for multiply, and / for divide. And expressions such as average, sum, max, and min. When the form is viewed, the field will calculate the expression and will recalculate as the record changes. Okay, so let's start by opening the pets database, and then the pet entry form in Form View. A calculated field is to be created to calculate the total value of sales for each pet based on the price multiplied by the quantity sold. Switch to Design View and click on the Text Box button. This can be found from the Design tab in the Controls section, and it's this button over here, second from the left. Click below the number sold field on the form. An unbound control is created, and as mentioned before, an unbound control is not linked to the data source. Let's click away from the new field to see it correctly. Click on the new field, select Property Sheet, and then from within the Property Sheet window, select the Data tab. Click the down arrow next to Control Source and select Animal from the list. The field is now a bound text box. Note that all fields added to a form by dragging from the field list are in bound text boxes. The field can be modified by changing any property sheet settings, but for now, close the property sheet and press Delete to remove the field. Add a new unbound text box in the same position, and enter the following expression: equals, open square brackets, price, close square brackets, multiplied by, that's the star, open square brackets, number sold, and then close the square brackets. Let's just widen this. Note that any field names used must be entered with square brackets. Click on the label next to the calculated field, delete the text, and enter total amount. Then resize and reposition the label and field if necessary. Display the property sheet for the calculated field. Select its Format tab and click the drop-down arrow in Format. Select Currency. Select the Other tab in the property sheet and change the name, which will probably be text followed by a number, and change it to the word Amount. OK, let's switch to Form View to see the result. The label is Total Amount, and the field contains the price multiplied by the number sold, so 30 times the 3, which comes to £90. Switch back to Design View with the Design tab selected. Add another text box below the new one, and enter the following expression: equals IIF, open regular brackets, open square brackets, then the word amount, close the square brackets, greater than 50, comma, double quotes, then the words high value, close the double quotes, comma, double quotes, then the words low value. Close the double quotes and close the regular brackets. Let's just widen that so we can see it all. So, if the amount is greater than 50, then in this box it will put in the text high value. If it's not greater than 50, it'll put in the words low value. So this logical expression displays either of the two messages depending on the value of the calculated amount field. Click on the label for the new field and delete it. Switch to Form View. So now we have the calculation, which is the price multiplied by the number sold, and also we have a text message below it. View the next record. The new total amount is automatically calculated. Change the number sold in record 2 to 100. Then click in the total amount field. The figure is recalculated. Switch to Design View. Change the total amount calculation to equals price multiplied by number sold, and then on the end of it, multiplied by, that's the star, 0.9. Change the label to discounted amount. Click on the text box with the equals IIF calculation field and press Delete. Switch to Form View to see the effect. So the 30 times 3 makes 90, and then we're multiplying by 0.9, which is the equivalent of reducing the price by 10%, which knocks off £9, and therefore we're left with £81 as the discounted amount. OK, let's save and close the form. And then close the database. Okay, that brings us to the end of lesson 39, in which we've discussed calculated fields on forms. I hope you can make good use out of this feature, and I look forward to seeing you next time when we'll be discussing combo boxes. Okay, I look forward to seeing you then.